It's kind of fitting that our final destination in this heavily militarized world is a heavily militarized area.
Today we all came here to the beach.
Oh, come on, that was boring. Spice it up a little. Like this. Hey there, this is Sarah. The ocean makes me feel so free. Like that, you know?
Stop messing around, you guys.
Idiot, you're blocking me. Get your damn mop head out of the way. Oh, you want a piece of me? Come on. Oh, dumb bastard. Let's go, come on, guy. Come on.
Stop acting like children. Guys, we're still recording. Hey, come join the rest of us. Hello. Today we all... Hello. Today we all came here to the beach. Hello.
There's just something about creepy repeating recordings, isn't there? And here we are, intensifies. This is the Brute's base. And it's a very unique dungeon. Varen must be somewhere in the building. Amity is vibrating through the entire structure. Every door is locked except for those leading to the city and large Karma terminal. Yeah, the remaining wolves are very eager to get their revenge on Varen, obviously. Yeah, so one of these days I'll be able to explain what the cells actually are, because it's very interesting from a lore standpoint. We're getting very close to the truth, though. The truth of what the junkyard really is, and what's actually going on here. Varen is the one who knows. And he's probably not going to be giving up that information without a fight. We have 4 columns of light here, and a central one. This central one is the one we actually want. That'll take us to Varen, but we can't use it until we've been through every other column of light first. Each one of these columns will shift the dungeon into a different configuration. A lot of people have described this place like the Amala Temple from Shin Megami Tensei 3. So if we touch the red one, red rings appeared and began to spin around the object. The structure of the building seems to have changed. Negative energy can be felt from the west side of the mansion. So now, this dungeon is in red mode. I've rearranged some of my skills to be more fitting to the enemies we're going to be fighting here, but an important thing to remember about this dungeon is there are 2 usable doors down here on the first floor below the stairs. Yeah, they're going to be important depending on what configuration you're in. If you're in red mode, the first place you probably want to go is through here. Also, we have the real music of this place. It's actually named, ironically, Sweet Home. It's kind of generic, ominous music, but it does kind of sell that feeling of, like, just foreboding. Like something really bad is going to be hunting you. I don't know. It's just... Or you're about to hit on a really dark revelation. But breaking through this yellow wall, we get an encounter. Ah, hi there. For some reason, I really like this demon. It's also in Nocturne, but it's not in many of the Persona... I think it's actually in Persona Q. But yeah, let's go ahead and use a spyglass to analyze it. This is Raiju. Raiju just means electric beast. They are, from Japanese mythology, they can take the form of various beasts like cats and wolves. They're the attendants of the thunder god Raijin. And they're really just spirits of electricity. Now, the main thing that I know about Raiju is that the villain of the My Little Pony movie, the Storm King, was originally going to be a Raiju, according to the concept art book, and it would have been way cooler than what we actually got, so I wish they went with that. Anyway, as you'd expect, uses a lot of Zero, but also uses Mamuda on, and it's weak to Force, as generally electricity and Force are opposites in this game. Drain Elect, Null, Death. So, okay, yeah, I have, oh, right, it's Argilla next. I have a pretty decent amount of elements on everyone. I've also got some pretty strange skills on Cielo right now. I have Marin Karen. I will explain why I have that later. But considering that it is not immune to ice, let's go ahead and do this. Kokaitis from this point on will basically be a random encounter sweeper. Oh, hi Mudon. Please don't kill me. Thankfully, Cielo's ailment weakness does not extend to instant death. The problem with using Kokaitis in general is that it usually kills things faster than I can devour them, but also, if we're not hitting a weakness, we're not making things afraid. But if you just want to sweep through a random encounter, it's pretty useful. Now, thankfully, this piano will not attack us. Kei Miura. Okay, wonder if that's a reference to anything in the real world, but yeah, it's not going to attack us like the Super Mario 64 piano. Also got a Soma there, which is nice. But that's really the only place we can go through this side. And here is the thing about this dungeon. So where we actually need to go next is through this door right here. But I'm actually going to spend some time through this door just to show things off. And there are a couple of treasures to grab here. You might notice this door here leads straight into a wall. I wonder what happens if we go through it. The theme of this dungeon is essentially if Pokemon Wrong Warps were an actual dungeon. Basically, several of these doors are not properly connected and will warp you to places that may be a little unexpected. But you can generally tell if the door leads straight into a wall, or if there wasn't a door on the other side if you've been to that room already. But here's a demon that I've been really glad to get to. Yolunga is from Australian Aboriginal mythology. The rainbow serpent exists in a lot of cultures. It's sometimes the main creator deity. It's the copper snake that brings rains, and if you see a rainbow reflection in a well of water, that is the rainbow serpent looking back at you. There are many different myths about the rainbow serpent across various different Aboriginal cultures. Yolunga is its name in very far northeastern Australia. It has lots of different names. But okay, strong against physical gun, expel death, weak to earth and ailments, repel fire and ice. Yep, no Kokaitis today. Weak to ailments, though, is kind of unfortunate. Oh, I really don't want to have to devour you. It's actually linked to a myth involving devouring, too. When in fact, it was the one doing the devouring. That might be why we got a stomachache. Tentarofu. Well, thankfully, Cielo blocks that. But you're going to have to just disache yourself. I'm actually running a little low on disaches. In fact, oh, actually, no, it's kind of hard. Oh, no, there's a vendor outside. So I probably should go and buy some dis stones from the vendor, I just realized, because we are going to be encountering stone in this dungeon for probably the first really significant time. I replaced Tentarofu with Marin Karen. Well, I guess I can show Marin Karen hitting a weakness. Or not, because I fail. And there we go. Yeah, it was always weird to me that in Shin Megami Tensei 4, Yolunga had the data personality type, so it always talked in garbled letters and numbers. But yeah, just 2 more levels, and we're gonna have 99 magic on Surf. I've put Dia back over Medea. Medea's more useful for boss fights. Now, if we go through that door, it's gonna just warp us back to the beginning of this dungeon. So I'm gonna go through here instead, because in this room, we have some chests. And what seems to be like a library area, and some paintings. Like, this looks like just a general rich person's mansion, but I guess in a way it sort of might represent those kinds of places that end up used as makeshift strongholds in war. Because one thing I was thinking about when it came to Varan/Colonel Beck... Oh wait, maybe Yolungas just give you a stomachache in general. But yeah, about Varan/Colonel Beck. In fiction, there are a lot of titles that are usually bad news, and one of them I've found is Colonel. Apart from, well, maybe Colonel Sanders, and also the Colonel in Metal Gear, but even then, he had the creepy AI counterpart in Metal Gear Solid 2. There's just always something, whenever you see a Colonel in fiction, they're usually not a good guy. And that's the case of Colonel Beck here, so I don't know what it is about, if it's anything to do with the rank in real-life militaries, but definitely seems like a lot of fiction has an out for colonels. Now, in fact, right here, I'm just going to warp back to the large terminal. Because the only door we can examine now is gonna just take us back to the lobby anyway because of, you know, wrong warps. This place really is wrong warps the dungeon. I do love that speedrun of, I think it's the original Pokemon Green, that is like, you do a bunch of weird finagling, and then you step outside your house and appear in the Hall of Fame. Now I have these stairs. Now, I distinctly remember from my first playthrough a basement area of this dungeon where you fight Giramakalas, and that's where I encountered a certain funny Easter egg thing. Okay, that's a new demon. That would be... Well, okay, its name is wrong. It's called Persky here, but it's actually Pulukishi. And elementally, it is weak to Elect, Repels, Force, and Expel. Well, it has Power Charge too, but mostly magic attacks, but also Skull Cleave. Shame you can't see the actual stats on these demons. I guess this thing would have a mix of physical and magical offense. So, Pulukishi is the Nepalese counterpart of, Airavata, the white elephant steed of Indra. It's also sometimes Ganesha's attendant, and maybe an avatar of Vishnu. Now, you do not have Zan. You have Zan, but you don't have Zeo, and you have Zeo, so let's go ahead and do this. I feel like eating a Raiju would be really painful, but maybe it'd be like those shock tarts things, you know, that a lot of media portrays actually being, like, actually really electrocuting you. Well, we're gonna let it get an attack. The main thing about Pulukishi that I remember is, like, that in Shin Megami Tensei... No, not even Shin Megami Tensei. Regular Megami Tensei 1, there's a really important item that you need in order to neutralize something. I think it's like petrification, called Persky's Neigh. I don't know why it is called that, and from what I've looked up, I really can't find much evidence from researchers of why it's called that. It might not even be referring to this specific mythological entity. It's kind of funny, being such a small elephant, I don't really like it using the same elephant sounds as the bigger elephants like Ganesha and Giramakawa. Of course, we haven't seen Giramakawa yet, but I know for a fact Giramakawa sounds like this because, well, if you've played this game, you will never forget what Giramakawa sounds like. And not because of the Giramakawa encounters in this dungeon, because of something else. So you have Mahamaon, Makunda, and Expel Repel. I think Makunda does slightly lower defense against magic as well, because magic is magic attack and magic defense. Now, just in case this door takes me straight to the... No, it didn't. Okay. So, there is going to be a mini-boss at the end of the red area, and for that, I really want Gale. Gotta be a little careful with these doors, though, because any door could just randomly start warping me around. Okay, good. Revival gem to replace the one I just used. I wanted to do this boss first because okay, well, firstly, it's weak to fire and Surf has some pretty decent fire skills, but also because it shows you something about this game that it's a little not obvious, and I kind of wish the game explained it better. Also, Brute Space A, I guess this is the one they expect you to go after first. I suppose the red thing is one of the closest orbs to the start. Oh yeah, here we go. So, at the end of these, it's generally pretty obvious, and I love how, like, it looks like these corridors in the middle of some kind of spatial distortion, which is what you step into when you hit the wrong warps. But yeah, through these are where the mini-bosses are. So, for this mini-boss, I want fire skills. Unfortunately, Surf doesn't have fire amp yet. Oh, he should probably set fire boost, though. I'm not really going to be using a lot of ice in this, so I can afford to overwrite that. I'll take Medea. You don't have any fire skills, so maybe I'll put heat in. I think Surf and Heat are the only people who've invested in fire. But the really important thing is, make sure that you have some form of death immunity in this fight. You will want it. Badly. Yeah, hostile presence. The game will always warn you when the mini-bosses are coming. Your Purina guards down there seem pretty friendly with us. I also love how you can see the outsides there. There's like a big broken wall. But this is Catoblepas. It's a legendary creature from Ethiopia, described by Pliny the Elder. He really gets around. He's mentioned in a lot of demon descriptions. It's said to have the body of a buffalo and the head of a hog. Its stare or breath could either turn people to stone or kill them. That's kind of like basilisks. apparently people think it might have actually been a real-life encounter with a wildebeest by people who clearly hadn't seen a wildebeest before. But yeah, in this game, they've gone with the turn to stone implication, but it is weak to fire. So that's where we're gonna get some hits on it. And we're gonna set up the Void Death, because the entire point of this mini-boss is to teach you, well, you know, I do wish the game explained this better, but basically, once you've learned that stone status is considered death, this fight gets a lot easier. It makes really funny noises, though. I know I say this about a lot of demons, but Catoblepas in particular makes some very hilarious sounds, and I love that. It's why I often look forward to this fight. So I can get that Aguilar going. Okay. I kind of want to say taunting should be fine, especially if I Tarunda it afterwards. I believe it does have Gate of Hell. Oh yeah, it also uses Earth, but as I love to keep saying, nobody in the party in the first game is weak to Earth, so we don't need to worry about getting extra press turns off of that. You know what, I'm going to live on the edge and taunt again. It isn't even down to red yet. As long as you keep Void Death up, this fight is not that bad at all. Still not down to red, though. Dekunda. Well, there go the taunts. But yeah, we're gonna keep blocking Stone Gaze. Yeah, pretty sure the reason why it has Earth skills is so that it can insta-kill anybody who's petrified. But if you block the petrification from happening in the first place, you never need to worry about that. Okay, now it's down to red. Okay, there's Gate of Hell. Yeah, that still does damage, even if it doesn't, even if it can't petrify you. I'm pretty sure it can't petrify you if you have Void Death up. That should be the case. But yeah, Gate of Hell is one of the scariest attacks in this game, considered by most players, because it does heavy physical damage to everyone and has a chance of stone. And it's on one of the super boss's attendants. So that's another reason why people get terrified of it. I probably should get Cielo a new mantra. I feel like Heat probably deserved that level up. Probably. I mean, you know, Heat doesn't deserve a whole lot after what he did with Sarah, but still. The negative energy was not coming from Varen. Well, obviously, it wouldn't be that easy. Clearly, we're not going to be able to fight Varen unless we've dealt with every one of these mini-bosses, and there are 2 more. So, let's head back to well, actually, we can quite easily head back to the start by warping, so I don't really need to cut ahead. Don't you love it when dungeons are convenient like that? Unfortunately, this convenience will kind of stop in the second game, because a lot of dungeons in that game only have small karma terminals, or only have one big one at the beginning. But this one also, I mean, this one only has one big one at the beginning, but still, it's positioned well because we have to keep going back to the beginning to swap the configuration. While I'm here, though, I promised that I would get Cielo a new mantra. And I have a pretty good idea of which one it will be. Because, yeah, now he's halfway to getting Debilitate, but he'll need to go all the way through the death track to actually get that, whereas I could get Illusion. It's like Calm Death would technically be really fun to use, it's just like, it's very situational. I might try using it once, just to be funny, but it's probably not the best skill in the game. Because, like, Calm Death itself, I don't think ever is considered a weakness for the purpose of press turns. And the music has suddenly got really calm again. Okay, well, I just realized I haven't explored this area in red mode, so I'm going to go ahead and try that. Whoop! Immediately blue wall. Well, not an actual blue wall. Yeah, and it warped us here, so there's nothing else we can do in red mode. Now I'm going to be switching things over to green mode. Because I am specifically saving the white mode mini-boss for last. It's one that I've been wanting to talk about for a very, very long time on this channel. Kind of looks like a healing terminal, but it's sort of the opposite of that, because it's going to be creating hostility. It will attack us. And yeah, as you can see, entire map just resets. So everywhere in this dungeon resets in every configuration. But in this configuration, you want to start with the southeastern door, at least if you want to make progress. Because now we have kind of a mirrored version of the stairs in the red configuration. Oh, hi there, Gorgon. I already talked about Gorgons before. Although, we couldn't spyglass them last time, so let's do that again. Because they only showed up in a trap chest. That's generally the theme with trap chests in this game. They're enemies from the next dungeon. Weak to fire, repel death, strong against ice, elect, and force. Well, somebody's turn's coming up, although I would probably prefer to use Key Blast against them. However, I can get a Devil Feast for Gale. And fire on you. And just whack. No, not enough, okay. It does not matter to me that you boing fire, because I will destroy you regardless. And I need to head back immediately and swap Gale's mantra. Be right back. After talking about Hanuman. Glory to Hanuman, as I will always think about when I see this. Okay, hi there, Hanuman. Hanuman's a weird demon in this game, because it's only weak to Charm. That's why I brought Marin Karen on Cielo. Also, it has an attack with a very unfortunate name. Hanuman is a very prominent figure from the Ramayana of Hindu mythology. He was an ally of Rama, an avatar of Vishnu, in his fight against Ravana. Remember that for later in this dungeon. But at this point, let's just Skull Cleave you. Yeah, that did not do much. Okay, I don't have Cielo. So, let's actually go ahead and... I probably should deploy Cielo over Surf, but I want to keep Surf. I'm going to deploy you there, and I guess you get an attack in. No, just doing a normal attack, okay. Yeah, considering that Ice still works on you, anything that Ice works on, just Cocytus. A lot of the time, it just works. Okay, I do need to bring Argilla back. Argilla's falling a little behind on level, so Surf, Argilla, and either Gale or Cielo will probably work, but I'll take Cielo because Gale still needs to swap his mantra. Yeah, he's just going to make his way up this line until he gets to Debilitate. Given this is later in the game, the Angel line of mantra should be mastered pretty quickly for him now. Kind of interesting how you need to be a master of both Expel and Death, or Light and Darkness, in order to get Debilitate. But, back to the grind. I just realized that in green mode, the upper area that had the Karma Terminal was considered unmapped. So does that mean that the large Karma Terminal is like a different Karma Terminal in the game's code, in every configuration? Because I wouldn't be surprised if it was stored that way. That would be interesting. Well, you're back. Will I actually have to charm you, or will Cocytus just... Nope, Cocytus didn't freeze you. So, hopefully this time I'll show Marin Karen actually working. Yeah, there we go. Not like you can really do a whole lot with Charm, though, because I feel like... Yeah, I don't think Devil Feast has very high odds against things with Charm. Yeah, it's more things like Sleep and Stun. I mean, it would be... let's just say it'd be awkward to have, you know, charm enemies into letting them get eaten by you. You know, that would be a certain thing on the internet that I've resisted badly making jokes about this entire playthrough. I promised myself I would never make any jokes about that word starting with V. But I guess, yeah, I'm glad that it didn't give me an opportunity to do so there. Do I have a Mazanma? I do have a Mazanma combo skill. Yeah, that was not a whole ton of... Actually, considering Illusion's a pretty high-level mantra, then that was actually a decent amount to be getting in one Devour. Okay, yeah, that's the right way. Let's go the other way. The configurations themselves are actually quite short. It's just mainly the confusion factor of the entire map changing every time you swap configuration. Oh yeah, of course, and they're nice enough to put a small terminal before every mini-boss. Speaking of which, this upcoming mini-boss is going to be very weird. It's one that you can quite easily break by using a very specific tactic, because it's programmed to react to what you do, and that can be exploited. So let's head over here, and I will get my skills and party ready. So what you want for this is a strong attack of one element, preferably one that you have the boosts and amps for. So in this case, I'm going to go Ice Boost, Ice Amp, Cocytus, because lol. In fact, right now I'll just replace Aguilar with Beautify in case that's stronger. And then somebody else needs a shield skill for that element. So okay, Argilla has Void Ice, so she can use that. Let's just go over Devil Feast for now. And Argilla's gonna take Bufu over that, so she can actually do some damage sometimes. But okay, it's time to fight Mini-Boss of the Brute's Base number 2. Well, I mean, that's basically just the goal of an RPG protagonist. It is Isis. So Isis nulls physical. Don't use that. But here's the gimmick of this fight. If you use an element on her, she will always use that same element against you. And she can be frozen by ice too. So if you have the Void or above skill for that element, you can just spam that element on her and we'll see. Oh, she also summons more of herself. So that's kind of amusing. She will eventually summon a third Isis, I think. But we might not even see them depending on how this goes. Yep, Isis Prime is already down. And now Isis the Second has summoned Isis the Third. You just make a really bad pun on Isis / ice, but okay. Haven't got a freeze on any of them yet. I almost want to let them attack just so that I can show off, like, why I'm putting the shield up. Yeah, they'll use combo attacks of the same element that you hit them with, but as long as you null your own element, you're fine. Okay, you're not quite down, but you should be down soon. Not quite. But yeah, this is kind of sad. And I'll finish you with Cocytus, because why not? No, did not finish you with Cocytus. Okay, guess I can Bufu you. Nope. Do Devour skills? Nope. Yeah, they don't, because bosses. I guess I'll finish with Bufudine. Yeah, they did nerf multi-hit skills from Nocturne. I think I've actually mentioned this before. They're usually only likely to hit the same target at least, like, up to twice, rather than more than that. Her magic is definitely starting to get up there. It's no Surf, but it's still better than most people. Yeah, it wasn't coming from Varen, but we needed to do that anyway. Because that is essentially one of the 3 keys to fighting Varen. Only one mini-boss left. Yeah, it feels like this has gone by pretty quickly. However, I do want to explore the other parts of this mansion while we're in green mode. If you're only concerned about just doing the bare minimum of this dungeon, it's actually very quick. So, what's through this door in green mode? I had a feeling! But that has warped us somewhere new. Oh, wow, this looks really cool. Oh, no, that's what it reminds me of. There's an area in Trails from Zero that's like this. But this is a really cool looking quality. Oh, there it is. There's the Repelephant. Hi there. I knew you showed up at some point in this dungeon. So this is Girimekala, the evil mount of the Lord of Evil Mara from Buddhism. Yes, Mara is a real thing and not just a Shin Megami Tensei, you know. Weak to Expel and Charm, Repel, Fizz, Gun, and Death. Yep, still repels physical, and drains fire. So that's why I brought the Expel skills for this. Also has Debilitate. Now, Girimekala has a very bizarre gimmick in this game that we may or may not see. If you reduce its health a lot, but don't actually kill it. Also remember that Devour skills don't count as physical, so it will not repel those. Okay, got you down to red, and, okay, yeah, here's the problem. So I actually killed it, I don't think we'll be seeing that. If you reduce it to low health and don't kill it, some funny things happen. It's a bit of a, I think people consider it an Easter egg. I'm not sure if I'd really go that far, but it's It is interesting. And now Queen Mab, and, I've already forgotten what you're weak to. Nothing. Yeah, you were the one that I just like to use physical against. Though, I mean, you're not immune to Cocytus. Definitely immune to that, though. Yeah, they can now show up when not summoned by Hypixies. In fact, one of the main, like, gimmicks, or one of the ways that a lot of people like to grind, earlier on in the game, but I personally don't think it's very useful to grind this way, is to leave the Hypixies alive and let them just summon Queen Mabs over and over again. You know what? I'm just gonna bring in Heat. Uh-oh. I'm kind of glad that Argilla's charm got overwritten, though. And he was a bro and hit through confusion. So was Argilla, but it didn't actually matter. No, I don't think I want to leave myself statused. I was wondering if I could show off the thing about status ailments going away when you hit minimum solar noise, but I could even be increasing right now. I don't generally pay too much attention to the solar noise unless I'm going for cells. And by the power of tables and chairs, Surf's party is blocked. It's just so weird that we can't just, I mean, you know, and again, we can't just climb over these boxes. Which means we can't even reach that that thing without finding some other door. Of course, I just had to encounter these while Gale went back in the party. Oh boy, this could be bad. Is that our first time actually seeing Debilitate in this playthrough? I think it is. Oh boy, whoa, that's not good. That's insanely bad, actually. Fortunately, I did save since I beat Isis, but still. I'll definitely try and show the Gira Mikala Easter egg at some point. Okay, so that's going to loop back around here. There was a door in the other configuration we didn't go through, but I have this suspicion that it probably leads to a dead end. Yeah, we spawn right near it, so it's probably also a, yeah. That's how this usually works. If you go back through the door that you spawned right in front of, it's also a warp. And, oh hey, this is actually where I was going to go anyway. Level 44 on Gale. It is weird that Surf is falling behind, but I actually left him out of a lot of the previous dungeon. Also, I'm going to set Argilla's skills back, because she needs Zanma and Devil Feast back. And now we have a dining room that's been pretty badly ransacked. Definitely seen better days, as places like this are often described. Yeah, now I think everybody in this team has access to the Zanma combo, so Raiju should beware. And now... oh yes! Oh yes! Finally! Of course. Of course I get the random magic after I already cap it. I guess that demonstrates that that can indeed happen. It's just pretty funny. That was to be expected. And it's all the way back here. So that is as far as we can go in green mode, which means that that gold chest in there will have to wait. Because now it's time for white mode. Code white, according to the villain of Final Fantasy XIII. I still find that scene always just stuck out of my mind. Blue rings. Okay, maybe this is blue, not white. It's always seemed white to me. Okay, I probably should have paid attention to where that negative energy was coming from. But firstly, I want to go up here and heal and save. Because, oh boy, one of my favorite mini-bosses is coming up. Also, we're getting a lot of money out of these enemies. Actually, this is blue mode. White mode is later. I just, they're actually red, blue, and green, which are the original Pokemon games in Japan. But yeah, I don't know, it just looked white to me. I've been mistaking colors a lot lately. In a stream that I did shortly before recording this, I realized that I had been thinking Sumia's hair was green in Fire Emblem Awakening, when actually her hair is more meant to be like brown. Now, there is an ambush chest somewhere in this dungeon that I am very much aware of, so that wasn't it. But I'll always take more treasures. Oh, magic mirror, that's good. I feel like I haven't really been using those enough, but you kind of need to know the fights to use them on. I generally prefer to use the shields for specific ailments in this, elements in this game, just because, I don't know, it just kind of feels more tactical to, like, react to what the enemy is using with the right shield, although, you know, you kind of have to know what they're using in advance. Oh, there goes the monkey. Pretty close on Cherubim, and decently close on Earth Emperor. Might take a little bit longer on Earth Emperor. Is this going to be the trap? It's a trap, but it wasn't the trap that I expected. And everybody's poisoned, and I am very high solar noise, so I'm going to have to waste a whole lot of disc poisons, of which I have many, because, as I keep saying, JRPGs love giving you way too many poison cure items. I guess I just heavily overestimated the power of, like, field damage. There's the trap that I was thinking of. Oh, it's Titania. That's cool. Now, the problem with Titania, though, is I don't have any sleep set on my party, and she's weak to sleep. I also want to say Kokaitis is not going to work too well. Yeah, it did not work too well. I mean, every Titania we've encountered so far has been unscannable, so I have to look up what they're weak to. It's all ailments. Oh, they null fire, ice, elect, and force, and resist earth. So other than ailments, it's really just physical. That's why I like putting them to sleep and eating them. They do drop theory cells and are worth a lot of experience and AP, though. A lot of people like to grind against them. And technically, Terra still works. Just not well. They don't say, "Are you ready?" in this game, though, which is, yeah, proof they didn't actually reuse the voice clips from Nocturne. I don't know why I thought they did. In that case, I'll deploy Heat, and I probably should deploy Cielo as well, but for now, let's just Ki Blast. Oh, okay, nice one. Yeah, they dropped a Theory Cell, too. And they're worth a pretty solid amount of marker. But okay, Gale now has Hammer on Rakunda and Makatora, whereas Argilla has Pterodyne and Earth Amp. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Let's go ahead and set those. I haven't really been needing Recalm that much here. I do like how future games in the series tell you that boost and amp stack, because it's not totally obvious in this game. Okay, we've got a lot of Mastered Mantra here. I really need a trip back to a terminal, although there will be a terminal before the next mini-boss. See, I don't actually know what kind of instrument this is exactly. I want to say that it's some form of guitar. Okay, here we know what the room is going to look like before we go through it. There was something I could inspect here. Oh, it's a painting. Picture of the blue sky shining over the ocean. Things that we don't know about. Yeah, if you don't see, like, the preview of the other side of the room when you look at the door, it probably means you're about to hit a warp. Well, Heat's probably mastering his mantra off of that. Oh, he got a third one into the bargain, too. And I forgot to set, Null Ache, Iron Stomach. I have plenty of these, though. And yes, that was indeed mastered. Heat has Ice Amp and Bufudyne now, if I really want to use that. And okay, this leads up the stairs, which should be getting us closer to the mini-boss. Oh, the terminal's right here. So now a whole bunch of new mantra on people, although with Gale and Cielo, I'm pretty much set on specific paths. Yeah, I want Gale to keep going into this. We're almost at 1 million, though. Yeah, once he learns this, then he'll have access to the Debilitate mantra. And, okay, ice magic, fire magic. Which one of these do I go for? Marble Nine ice. Oh no, I'm obviously going for this, because that'll actually cover Surf's weakness. Meanwhile, heat can go for, I am, like, just barely off that. Okay, I'm gonna fight one encounter and just get that for heat. Of course, Argilla also needs a mantra. It would be super fitting if Surf and Heat both got their weakness covering skills at the same time. Those skills do effectively mean they have one less skill slot, but it's worth it for having no weakness. And Heat gets ahead of the rest of the party in levels. That's kind of rare given how long he takes to level up. But yeah, that should definitely be... Yeah, that's a little more than enough marker. Argilla's going to be getting his leftovers, though, that means. But yes, Heat will now become an ice god. Yeah, the ultimate Earth one, meanwhile, is called Mother Earth. Actually, one fight will probably put you on that one. Oh yeah, definitely enough for Argilla to get something. Yeah, you get closer to nullifying your weakness, though it'll take you a little longer. And now, through this door, and through more of this corridor. It's almost there. Oh, we've got a red wall. This will just lead us to an item. So yeah, I'm going to be getting one of these red walls out of the red wall exclusive video, but it's in a dungeon we're actually visiting. That's how I handled a lot of the yellow and blue walls we found in the first time we had access to those dungeons. Hi, Queen Mab. And I think this is just another cell. It is Fusion Cell. Again, Fusion Cell does sound like a Dragon Ball thing. But yes, through this bridge is, in my opinion, the epitome of the TV trope ugly cute. And I might be alone in thinking this. I know he's a bit over level, but I do probably want Heat for this fight. Because this mini-boss has no weaknesses, but it is not resistant to a lot of things, so you do just want to use multi-target attacks. Yeah, it only nulls Expel, Death, and Ailments. No resistances to physical or any element. So, here we go. A hostile presence. A hostile yet weirdly adorable presence. Yeah, it's 5 of them. Well, the thing is, we're basically trying to do the exact same thing. Yeah, I do feel bad for fighting them, but it has to be done. So this is Needhog, and look at the tiny little Needhogs! Like, look how small they are! And hopefully at least one of them gets a turn, because you'll also see why I think they're adorable. Because yeah, it's like, look at the little arms! And like, the little heads, I don't know, I just find them weirdly cute, but okay. So, like I said, not any resistances, so you can just unload with your multi-target attacks, except ice, because the info I had was wrong, and they drained that, okay. And just listen to the sounds they make when they attack, though! Of course, that's not cute. The main gimmick of this fight is the central one will cannibalize the others and grow to bigger and bigger size. If you let it cannibalize them all, things get very, very bad. Because then it starts using more attacks. Okay. Yeah, it absorbs ice, and it has... and it takes 150% damage from, like, everything except ice. Oh, and elect for some reason, which is totally neutral. So Force, Earth, those are all good. Argilla will work well here. I guess Surf can be demoted to being support. Although he has Terazi as well. So don't use my Bufudine. I have Maragi on. Maybe I could do that. No, I'd rather have, yeah, I'd rather have Argilla attack, because she has the better magic stat, so let's go ahead and do that. And here we go, Ki Blast. And dodged, okay. They clearly want more screen time, because I call them adorable. Just those sounds, I don't know why, it's just funny. Though this is actually the worst I've had this fight go. Usually I don't let it grow this big. So okay, let's see if I can kill off some of the little ones. Because they don't have a lot of health. Okay, there we go, one's dead. Because the gimmick of this fight is that you don't want to let him cannibalize them all. So you want to kill the little ones before the big one gets too big. But now it's just the big one. Oh, and he's summoning more little worms for him to devour. And there's some... Admittedly, they're a lot cuter before you can see the veins. But I don't know, I just love the little sounds the little ones make. Oh, no. Oh, Fizz Rain. Interesting. Okay. At least it's not cannibalizing. I also need to heal. Oh, of course you hit Argilla twice. And of course also the Fizz Rain is up, so... This is like the one mini-boss that I did not expect to give me much trouble, and it turns out it's actually giving me the most trouble, because, of course it would. These things must be like, no, how dare you call us cute? We are fierce, we are intimidating. We are the ultimate soldiers of Varan Omega / Colonel Beck. Please stop calling us adorable. Uh-oh, that's bad. Oh yeah, heat at close call. So yeah, that's a thing that happens, although he's probably gonna have to transform back. And I've lost access to my Archidyne combo because Heat's has no skills in this form. Okay, you're just gonna transform back again. And being stuck on 1 HP is kind of bad, though. So I'm gonna actually just focus on healing him right now. Okay, just going for a regular attack. Oh, and oh, you healed yourself, not your big bro. That's a little weird. Uh-oh, didn't actually kill that. Still, at least we get to hear this a lot. That's kind of the benefit. Okay, you're dead. Key Blast again. And Materazi again. Heat's probably gonna... Oh, okay, no, it cannibalized that one. So I think it's as big as it can possibly get right now. Which is unfortunate. But now you're alone, so I can cleave your skull, and... I'm just gonna Pterodyne. It's probably gonna go for reinforcements over just smacking Heat, I think. No, it's gonna rage. It would like to rage. And now it's gonna... Yeah, it's gonna reinforcements. Oh, that happened. Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. But, you know, it's kind of fine. Let's just consider this Heat's penance for what happened with Sarah. So now, I'm just gonna bring you back up again, and then... I guess I can Key Blast. Not even down to red yet. Yeah, you're not having any weaknesses can be... Okay, now you're healing it. But can be a bit annoying. Just like, I was looking at the wrong guide. I was looking at a Game FAQs guide. The same guide that said that Cielo was bad, so I should never have trusted it. But I was like, oh, I put boost and amp on, oh no, I stand corrected, it can get bigger, okay. This is the first time I've ever seen it get this big. So, that could be very problematic. So it's gonna start using some pretty nasty stuff at this size, I think. Okay, it's down to red though, at least. Yeah, here we go, this is as big as it can get. Oh, okay, hi Megadolon. I was about to say, it would be hilarious if my first actual game over was to this. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want to speak too soon, but like, we just have too much, our magic stats are kind of too high for that. Yeah, it's just going to spam this, okay. Yeah, so this is the gimmick that happens if you do, like, I have legit never seen this happen before. So I guess I'm showing off new content for me, and I guess for you too. Because I feel like most attempts at this fight, it goes down pretty fast. I need to Medea right now. Argilla might still die. Oh, no, it's Makakajering, okay. I can't believe this actually happened. No, it's not dead yet. There it goes! I don't know if you get any more experience out of that if you let it keep summoning. But there we go. The fight of bizarre cuteness is now over. The fight that basically destroyed me. And now we unlock white mode. White mode is going to take us to Varen himself. However, oh boy, it's a little while to the terminal. But seeing as we've just fought all 3 of the mini-bosses, I think I'll end things here. And I'll see you next time back at the main terminal for when we activate white mode and get to Varen. Oh, actually, wait, hang on. This is new. So, yeah, this is Artavaka. Artavaka is still weak to Earth from its mini-boss encounter. Artavaka was actually a baby-eating demon that was redeemed by the Buddha. So, somewhat fitting to this game, I guess? And Artavaka's name is literally Sanskrit for Lord of the Forest. It's a vassal of Bishamontan. At least in Japanese Buddhism. This is such a weird thing to say, but like there's a lot of baby eaters that got redeemed by the Buddha, because Harisi was also that. Okay, so now we're heading back here, and I will see you all next time when we confront Varen Omega and encounter some pretty major plot revelations. So see you all then.